What will happen to the NBA if I put MJ in every single squad? Every single franchise is gonna have MJ as their top man. Let's just say there's gonna be a lot of chaos. From having a big three in Dallas, having a big three in LA, having a big three in Boston. There's gonna be so many big threes all across the league. And today's MVP is gonna have MJ on his side. So as always, if you do enjoy the content, please drop a like and subscribe. I've also done the same concept for LeBron. I will be linking it at the end of the video, but now let's begin. So obviously with every video just like this, I always have to turn injuries off and I put the difficulty up to 80. So it's pretty hard for bad teams to make it into the playoffs. I've also turned off trade logic because I don't want anyone getting traded. I want to keep the same teams and see the impact that MJ has on each individual team. So let's see how the season lines up. So the Dallas Mavericks get their MVP in MJ. They lose Luka, they get MJ. Look how lucky they get. Averaging 28.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists on really good efficiency. And in terms of the DPOY, I thought another MJ would get it, but actually Wemby just got it. He gets it every time. In terms of All-NBA team selections, I was actually really surprised. With the LeBron simulation, I don't want to compare, but with the LeBron simulation, there was only maybe 1 or 2 players that made the All-NBA selections across all the 3 different teams. Here we have 3 players in the first team, Shea and Giannis in the All-NBA second team, and Trey in the All-NBA third team. I'm not saying anything, but it's... In the All-NBA defensive teams, I expected all the MJs to make it. Obviously, Wemby won the DPOY, so he's going to be in the first team, but other than that, it was all Michael Jordans. And now for the moment of truth, for the NBA standings, New York was the first seed in the East at 61 and 21. The Cavs have themselves a big 5 now, 55 and 27. Atlanta apparently is the 3rd seed. I don't believe that. The Celtics, 47 and 35, like MJ, Jason, and Jalen, KP, Drew, DY. You can't convince me that team doesn't go like for 65 wins. Let's be real. Philly cannot be saved even with prime MJ. They are the 9th seed. And then apparently the Bucks, who have Giannis, MJ, and Dame, didn't even make the playoffs. I don't know how 2K works. Moving on to the West, this is the exciting side for me. The Mavericks, their big 3 is ridiculous. They go 64 and 18. Then Minnesota, I didn't expect this. Like father, like son. They go 59 and 23. I think they're going to be a great duo in the playoffs. Moving on, the 3rd seed is Wemby and MJ, 54 and 28, and then OKC. And then the Kings apparently. Lakers and Warriors are very low, to be honest. MJ, LeBron, and Luka, only the 8th seed. Curry, MJ, and a washed Jimmy Butler are the 9th seed. And this is the weird one. Jokic and MJ are the 10th seed. Jokic and MJ. And let me not even talk about these bums, man. These bums cannot be saved, even with prime Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro. They cannot be saved. Think about it. KD, the 2nd or 3rd best player of our generation, couldn't save this bummy franchise. Now moving on to leading scorers, this is pretty expected. OKC MJ led the league in points, so 29.7. Then followed by Miami MJ at 29, then Shea at 29. So you had Shea and Jordan both averaging 30 points. That's ridiculous in itself. Then you had the Pelicans MJ averaged 28.6, the Mavericks MJ, then Ants at 27.6, followed by Clippers MJ at 27.6 also, then the Hawks' MJ at 27, then Jalen Brunson, and finally at the 10th spot is the Warriors Michael Jordan at 26.6. Not a lot of Eastern Conference MJs. Most of these ones are from the West. Now in the playoffs, I obviously simmed the play-in because I'm not going to be waiting for that. The Denver Nuggets did not make it. The Pelicans did in fact. The Lakers still made the playoffs, which is cool because I want to see what they do. So let's sim the first round and see the outcomes. Then we'll break it down one by one. So let's start in the East. All the way at the top, New York versus Miami. It ends in 5. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy for New York. They got like an insane team. Next, moving on, Boston, Indiana. The Celtics lose in 5, which is crazy. I'm not even going to comment about that. That is ridiculous. Then Atlanta versus Toronto. Atlanta wins in 6. This could have gone either way, but Trae Young is pretty OP on 2K. And finally, the last series goes to 7 between Cleveland and Brooklyn. It shouldn't have gone to 7, but Cleveland take it. Now, moving on to the West, there was a lot of good series to be talked about. The first one of all being the Mavericks versus the Pelicans. This was very, very easy for the Dallas Mavericks. They got a super team. Next was OKC versus the Kings. It went to 7. Surprisingly, OKC always make it to the finals, but they took the Kings to 7. Still made it though. After that, we have another series that went to 7 games. The Spurs and the Clippers. This was probably the best series in terms of talent because the Spurs were stacked, the Clippers were stacked, but the Spurs came out on top. And finally, to end off the first round, it was the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Lakers, and father-son duo is probably going to be the best duo right now. They literally beat LeBron, MJ, and Luka. So that eventually concludes the first round. Now let's simulate the second round to see who makes it out on top. So the Knicks, the Cavs, the Mavericks, and the Timberwolves all make it to the conference finals respectively. The Knicks beat Indiana in 5. That's like every New York fan's dream right now, but that's not gonna happen. Halliburton's gonna smoke them. Then the other round in the East was the Cavs and the Hawks. The Cavs win in 6. That's pretty straightforward. On the other side, the Dallas Mavericks smoke OKC in 6. So the MVP couldn't hold his ground against the Big Three in Dallas. That Big Three is gonna be jokes, man. And then finally, the father-son duo has been rolling through the West. They beat the Spurs in 7 though. It was really difficult because Wemby is problems, but they still made it happen. Now we have the final sim to see who makes it to the finals. Make sure you drop a comment down below to tell me who you think would make the finals with Prime MJ. So upon simming, the Timberwolves and the Cavs make it to the finals. Obviously, both MJs get their respected conference MVPs. The Cavs ended up beating New York in 6, and the Timberwolves ended up smoking the Dallas Mavericks in 5. And now in the finals, Game 1 goes to the Timberwolves, Game 2 goes to the Cavs, Game 3, the Timberwolves, and then Game 4, back to the Cavs. So it was a lot back and forth. But it's worth mentioning that Ant dropped 57 in Game 4, regardless of the loss. He's averaging 30 points in the playoffs so far. And MJ, although he only dropped 8 points, he's still averaging 29. And now in terms of Game 5, the Timberwolves win it. They win it by almost 50 points. Not almost, they won it by 51. Do you understand how ridiculous that is for a finals game? So now it's a 3-2 series. The last game I'm probably gonna sim just because they might win it and I want to jump in. And they are indeed winning. It's pretty not even close right now. It's almost 40-point difference, up by 40, almost 50. Oh my god, 114 to 76. I'm gonna jump in regardless just to see the celebration, but this is out of hands. This is extremely out of pocket. No wonder the NBA ratings are going down. I actually haven't played 2K in a minute because of my exam, so this is kind of my first time back playing with someone. But yeah, obviously I'm gonna have to get a bucket with MJ over this little boy, Darius Garland. He cannot guard me. MJ has 35, 11, and 10, which is ridiculous in an elimination game. Then here, another possession. I'm sizing up Donovan Mitchell. I want to get into that midi. Let me see if I can fade it. Yes, sir. I still got my game in me. Game's over, but I'm trying to get a bucket of MJ. And that's it. 132 to 91. Yo, where's the celebration? I jumped in to see him celebrating. They won by almost 40 points, and I don't get to see a celebration. I have to exit out to the main menus. Ridiculous, man. But anyway, let's see who is the finals MVP. And indeed it is Anthony Edwards. 34 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. He was averaging 30 the whole playoff run, so I knew he would get it. MJ did his thing, but like father, like son, you know what I'm trying to say? This father-son duo to me is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? I said it from the start. That was gonna be the coldest. So I guess there you have it. The Timberwolves would be the best team in the league if they had Prime MJ. Him and Ant are just on a different level. Let me know in the comments who you would have thought would win the NBA championship with Prime MJ on their team. I personally thought it would be the Celtics or the Mavericks, but I guess all Ant wanted was his father. You get what I'm trying to say? If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like and subscribe. I am back on this grind in the summer because obviously now I'm free of exams and I have all the time in the world to make content for you guys. Let's try to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this summer, hopefully. But that's it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.